In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So there's no way to explain how hard those words would have been to the first century Christians that we just read. We're kind of used to them because we've read the Gospel according to John and had lots of it read in church. So we know that's the prologue to the whole Gospel according to John. But to say that Jesus, the man who many saw die on a cross, was with God in the beginning of time, and that the world was created by and with Jesus Christ, who was not only with God, but was God, it is scandalous. Nothing short of scandalous. So we can't really catch that scandal because we're kind of used to it. Much of the words in John's Gospel have become part of our liturgy. We use mostly John when you hear the Eucharistic prayer, especially in the Rite One service. You hear John in all the little things that we do throughout the year that have anything to do with God being incarnate. And you notice what's missing. This is the Christmas story from John, but that's why we did this hymn to remind us there was a baby in a manger. There was a Mary. Do you see Mary listed anywhere in this prologue? It's like he left out something. But what he's left out points to what John emphasizes in his gospel. There are three main themes to this circular prologue that we have, and in these three themes he sets up what his whole gospel is going to continue to talk about. So the first thing is there's a competition going between John the Baptist and Jesus Christ. Can you catch that a little bit from the words? That John was not the light. Jesus was the light. John points to the light that's coming into the world. Jesus is the light. Jesus is the co-creator with God. You can imagine this picture storybook of when God created the world in 6 days, and on the first day he divided the heavens from the earth, or the light from the dark. You can see these words coming out of God's mouth. Those words are Jesus. He is the Word coming out to create. So Jesus being part of the creative energy or the agency of God puts a whole different twist on the nativity story. That it shows us what our job is as light carriers, like I was telling the kids, is that we need to be co-creators also with God in bringing light to people. But we also need to be John the Baptist. John the Baptist points to the light all the time. Don't look at me, look at God. And if you look at Jesus in John's Gospel, he's constantly doing that. He says, it's not me, but my Father working through me. It's not me, but my Father working through me. And when he talks to God personally, he says, Abba, Father. So he's not saying, hey God, it's mini God down here. That would be ridiculous. Not mini God. He came down to earth from heaven and became totally incarnate. Absolutely. So that huge God self is in that little tiny baby. So you don't have to get your head around that. We'll move on in the prologue to God. God is the creator. He is the one who gives life to everything. He is the one who created the heavens and the earth, the sea and the dry lands, the rivers that flow, so that we see the living, creative God in every single thing we see in nature. Every single thing. And Jesus brings that God nature to us. The third thing in this prologue is us. We're in there. And you have to search a little bit to see where we are. We are right in the middle of the prologue, and God gives us the power to be God's children. God gives us the power to be God's children. We are children of God. So when God says, let the little children come to me, who does that mean? That's all of us. Even the pompous, even the tall, even the people who think they've got worldly power. We're all children in God's eyes. So that puts us in our place. But the main thing is that we have been given the power to become. We aren't instantly made like instant breakfast. Do you remember those instant breakfasts? Zap! We've got the power. We're born again. We're strong. We're powerful. Does anybody feel that power? We've been given the power to become. That's where we all get caught. How do we become? Only through faith and letting go. Only through faith and letting go. Starting each day with this innocence of a child, knowing that we have to somehow be the light to somebody else. Be John the Baptist, in other words. Carry your candle. And how do we do that if we're feeling not quite up to par? Like we didn't get paid enough attention yesterday. Like my foot hurts. I have a headache. How do we bring the light when we're so marred by all this mess that is us? Well, that's what community is for. So we are a communal group. And just as this prologue points out, Jesus came and was not recognized by the people he came to show the light to. That doesn't mean everybody. That means a few people who have power in the world. And there's nothing worse than religious people who think they have power in the world. So that's not us. We're the little children, remember? We have to be kind of humble and not know where our joy is going to come or who we're going to meet that needs to hear the words we have to say or needs to hear the story of recovery that you have to share or needs to hear just a simple, I was thinking of you yesterday. Something like that can just shine the light in ways you have no idea. So the prologue sets up everything for our lives as carriers of Christ, but it also reminds us that we are living in the prologue. It's been 2,000 years and we're still in the prologue. Everything will develop today as the rest of the story, and tomorrow we start all over again.